The Armenians of Berzor, Aghavno and Nerkinsus have until the day after tomorrow to vacate the area before Azerbaijani forces enter the area. I'm joined now via Skype by Nina Shahverdyan, a resident of Aghavno. So Nina, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Nina, what has the past month been like for you and the other residents of Aghavno? In early August, the Armenian government confirmed that by August 25th, the residents of these three communities must evacuate before Azerbaijani forces enter the area. What is the situation like now? Have most of the villagers left? And who is still in Aghavno?
I'd like to mention that our government did not confirm. It claimed that people should go out. Neither Russian side nor Azerbaijani side ever claimed that we should go out. It was only Armenian side, so it's not confirmation, it's a call to go out. By now, yeah, almost, and by saying almost, I mean almost everyone have left all these locations. Only few men stayed in the village to know what's happening in the just to see what will happen in the end. But all families, all the houses, furniture, everything is already out of the village. So there are only some men located there.
The November 9th, 2020 trilateral statement did have a clause about the change of route. I'm wondering, was there an expectation that eventually Aghavno would fall under Azerbaijani control, or was there hope that Armenians would be able to stay in the village?
As far as I know, and most of the people in our village know, the name of Aghavno and any of the neither Berzor nor Sus were mentioned in the document. It means that it was up to the government to decide where the route will go and how. And so we were hoping that our government will do at least one good thing and take care about these three locations, but apparently it did not. Anyways, according to the document, it was totally possible not to give away these territories.
And what can you tell us about the Russian presence in the area? There are reports that Russian forces have dismantled some of their posts already. Is this true? I think that the reports came from my stories. They did not dismantle, but they started ruining some of the things that they had on their not at checkpoints, so they have checkpoints, and also near the village they have their location where they live and stuff, and they started somehow destroying some of the trenches and stuff that they have there in their location where they live. But on the checkpoints, they just changed the location of one checkpoint, which was a bit after Aghavno. They changed it to the Aghavno, so now you cannot enter Aghavno because the Russian checkpoints stand there. Before they were not standing in front of the village. And in terms of state assistance, which is being promised to the residents of places like Aghavno, what can you tell us about this? During this evacuation period as well, what sort of assistance was the state providing, and was it sufficient?
Yet again, I don't think anything was done well, or anybody have thought about the organization of evacuation, because no. We got some, the residents got some assistance, like certificates that contain 10 million drams to buy a house. But I'm pretty sure in Armenia the prices of housing are a lot higher than just 10 million. And there are families who have, I don't know, 6 children, 5 children, 7 children, 9 children. And 10 million is a very small amount to buy a house that will be optimal for them to live at. Other than that, the state promised to give 40,000 dram per person in a family for a rent. And again, most of the citizens already don't want to go to live in front lines, and it's a normal amount for villages or some smaller cities, but they are already too afraid to live on front line, and they don't want to move out from anywhere again. So they tend to go to bigger cities where there will be at least some stability. But 40,000 per person is not really enough to find the housing, especially because
we have housing problems in Armenia after the war and after Russians. So it's been very difficult. For transportation, the government didn't do much. I know Gigi has provided trucks, and the government has also only paid some checks for the gasoline, if I'm not mistaken, and that's it.
And was there any assistance from non-state organizations that were not connected to the state?
Yeah. There was, as I said, support from Gigi. There was support from Kuyrix. They gave some financial support to some families that were in really bad situation. I know there are some therapist organizations who want to support people, and they are doing this program for their mental health. And there are also individuals who are helping out. I know some people from Germany, they bought toys for children, and just other individuals who just supported financially and in other ways.
And there was a debate going on within Armenia and across the diaspora with regards to the topic of burning homes. The authorities had encouraged the residents to not burn their homes, but it seems one resident did in fact burn his home, but many of the other houses remain standing. What do you think about this whole debate around a very personal issue about people's homes and whether they should raise them and burn them?
It's not one citizen. At this point, already 4 or 5 people burned their houses. As problematically, Russians do not let reporters enter Aghavno, so already public doesn't know about it, but there are more than 1 people who burned their houses. My attitude towards it is very mixed again, but as a person, as I know and felt, when you burn your house, there is no way back. So already you cannot return if you do not have a house there. So that's what I think that maybe you shouldn't do. If you want to come back, you shouldn't burn your house. But I don't think that was a mindset that our government used when it was proposing not to burn the house, because they said that if you burn your house, you will not get money for that, and it's very weird. Like, why? How are they connected? Like, if you are giving the territories to Azerbaijan, how do you care? And why do you care if the houses are burnt or no? But somehow they care. So I think there are some unwritten agreements between Armenia and Azerbaijan about the settlement. Maybe Azerbaijan wants to settle it right away, so they need the houses clean and new, and they pay our government. I don't know. Nobody knows.
And in the November 9th, 2020 document, it talks about 3 years and then a presenting of a plan with regards to a new route. It doesn't specifically say about a handover. Many people are frustrated with the Armenian government for their handling of this, and many believe that the early August clashes, which left 2 Karabakh Armenian soldiers dead and over 24 wounded, was partly due to the Yerevan's mishandling of this whole issue. Is there a palpable frustration with the Armenian government in places like Aghavno, Bertsor and Nerkin-Sus for their handling of this?
Definitely. I don't think Armenia is handling at all. As far as I know, Armenia took away its last soldiers from Artsakh in the beginning of August, and right after that the clashes have started. So as people, this is not my idea, this is what people talk, is like Armenia took away its troops and now Artsakh has to deal with everything by itself. Like, there is no support from Armenian government whatsoever.
And finally, Nina, this was a heavy experience and it will obviously have a psychological impact. I'm wondering, as someone who lived in Aghavno, what would your message be to Armenian communities, not just in Armenia and Artsakh, but across the world? And what are your plans now? Where will you head now?
I'm heading to Herher, which is in Martuni village, because I'm part of Teach for Armenia program, and I shall continue my work in Martuni. That's considering my plans, and I don't know, and I don't think there's possible to plan anything ahead than 1 year in Armenia. So I don't know about later, and considering the message, maybe I should think about it. But maybe I'd like just people to know what's happening and then talk about it or discuss it or tell people what is better or what is no, because I don't think anyone can care more about the situations than the people who live through the situation. And it's really making people angry when people from outside come and say, okay, we're here to save Aghavno, or we should do this and this and this to save Aghavno. It's very frustrating, I think.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too.
And thank you for joining us on CivilNet.